What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about some of the things that won't be working anymore in Madden 20. Now, a lot of you guys have been asking these specific questions in the comments. Shout out to all of you guys that are giving the feedback, understanding that we're trying to figure out how we're going to move forward with the game, and that we're not thinking about Madden 19 with the blind rage. A lot of you guys, I told you guys, get your anger out. You guys raged about 19, 18, 17, 16, and now we're talking about 20, and you're seeing that, if we work together like this, we will be able to address all the things together when it comes down to it. If EA patches the game and it goes crazy and all kinds of madness starts to happen, you guys know where to find me. At GmiasWorld on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. We're going to work together to make sure that we keep the game the way it is now based on the beta. But I'm going to be going through some of the major changes that I viewed for myself that you guys have asked. Yo, Gmias, share with us what your top 5 things that just won't work anymore going into 20. Now, this right here is gonna make a lot of you guys stand up. Like, you could probably be at work, you're at your computer, whatever you're doing, bro. You at Burger King flipping a burger, you about to drop the spatula, dog, like you're SpongeBob. Sacks. How many of us played against Michael Vick, smashed him in the backfield, the ball was not going forward, it just fell out and it wasn't a fumble? Show of hands. Go ahead, show me your hands. Go ahead, do it. Because we're gonna go to Antonio Brown in a second, but I just want to show of hands real quick. I know a lot of you guys are putting your hands up like, yo, Gmias, you're absolutely right. That is taken care of accordingly. What happens is, if you don't get a fumble, it will be a sack. And that happened regularly inside of the game. Whether I was in franchise, head-to-head, whatever, it's no more of that foolishness where a fumble is not a fumble. For the entire weekend that I had the beta, that's what was going on, all right? So the sack situation, yo, that ain't working no more. You're not gonna get away with getting sacked and it's not a sack. That's all over. Now, when you look at Antonio Brown, all right, we're gonna talk about the fact, the reason that I put this still in here, because he's a shorter receiver with a different type of chem. And I wanna point out, height is very, very important in this game. It's like Madden 10, you could go ahead and say Madden 15, Madden 15 was like the GOAT Madden, bro. Madden 17, you could still swerve, so it didn't really matter about height too much. If you get the ball out in front, you could still swerve. But, going back to like 15 when height really mattered, this is a situation where you got to look at this now, right? So, because height matters, if you're the kind of dude, like, it's a lot of people that make a living by just throwing drag routes and running for 6. There's a lot of people that do that, and they're very excited about it, and they're happy. And they're like, yo, I'm about to just do this. I don't care. It don't matter to me. That's all fine and well, all right? But let me point something out to you so that I'm very, very clear with it. That's not going to be the same scenario in Madden 20, because the players actually react, all right? So we got sacks, we got height matters, and now we're going to player reaction. So look, when you throw a drag route and the defender has a brain, he's going to react to the ball now. Also, flats work. So if you put somebody in a flat, they're gonna actually play the flat. I know a lot of you guys are like, wow, it took EA 6 years to do that, to fix that situation. Yes, it's going to work in 20. We're not worried about the other things that was going on in the past, whatever. We're trying to move forward and trying to see how we can make it work, all right? So, when you look at a guy like Antonio Brown and the fact that this is what he is, you're gonna have to use him based on what he is. His grab and go, quicker turning, all that stuff. All of the things that make him a great receiver in the league, you're gonna get that. But he's not jumping up in the air like Juju Smith-Schuster. And I didn't use him on purpose because of all the separation and he just left Steelers. I'm just saying, Juju Smith-Schuster is a bigger receiver. He has double me. He will have a whole different set of characteristics, all right? Now, the next thing that goes on, and what I'm looking at right here with Patrick Mahomes, okay? This is the situation. The ratings matter. So we have sacks, height matters, players react, and now we're down to ratings matter. If you play Madden 19 or you're currently playing Madden 19 while watching this video, you're like, oh my God, are you sure that, the ratings actually matter? Like, finally, like they actually made it so that this guy doesn't play like that guy and everything is not exactly the same? Yes. And let me point this out again. If you play with Patrick Mahomes and you see some of the stuff of his star abilities, right? If you play with him and you have these abilities, remember, the star abilities are in his DNA. That's every single down. If you're running around like a maniac and a psychopath, you're gonna be able to unlock no-look Deadeye. You're gonna be able to do red zone Deadeye, dashing Deadeye, escape artist. You can do all of these things every single snap of the game if you're passing, because it's in his DNA. Bazooka, obviously you have to work up to it, but these are the things that I'm trying to point out. The ratings matter and the players matter. So they all play differently. All right. So all that stuff from Madden 19 where, you know, like right now I'm using Taysom Hill. All right. Like he's one of the spotlight players and he plays just like everybody else. Like he's not any different throwing the ball. He doesn't throw it longer, even though he has a certain amount of throw power. He doesn't do any, like, bro, it's almost impossible. I can't believe that they actually made the game like that. But that's what Madden 19 is. So now with the fact that the player, you know, the player ratings matter, it's sort of like this. If you guys play 2K and you play my team, the one thing that you can say, even though the gameplay is like really not that good, in my opinion, the ratings matter for the players. Like if you get an amethyst, Kobe Bryant, and then you go to a diamond and a pink diamond, you know what I'm saying, and an opal, you'll be able to see the differences in the players. You have to give 2K that. The gameplay itself is like I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like I'm just looking at it like, okay, you know, that's what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing I can really do about it. Like if they're getting away with doing that, like kudos to those guys. But look, the ratings matter. And those are some of the things that we've been having major issues with for a very, very long time. So I'm very, very excited about that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's pretty much like how I want to be, you know, going forward with it. I want to be able to see that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a very, very clear-cut situation with the way that Madden is right now. And we have to continue to make sure that going forward, we do everything in our power to keep it the way that it is. Because if we don't do that, if we don't stay like looking at the specific game as they patch it and watch it as it goes, we're gonna lose it right in front of us. You know what I'm saying? Like it's absolutely just gonna be going right in front of us, bro. Like there is absolutely nothing that's going to change if we just let them do whatever they want. Now remember, a lot of you guys that were, you know, coming to my streams and seeing these things and seeing how I raged every day about it, you know what I'm saying? It's all different now. Everything is different. You see, because now they took some of the feedback and they added their own thing, because I never even said anything about the throwing, and then they made this whole thing with the wind up to make it more realistic. They had the stars playing like stars, all that good stuff. But the number one thing that they did that we were raging about for a very, very long time is that they made the ratings matter. And you can see the difference in the players. And as you choose different teams, you can see them do different things. And it's not the same thing over and over again. And it's not, you know, just crazy annoying. Like, oh my God, I'm playing with this guy, but he's doing the same exact thing as this guy. Like, that no longer happens. So, depending on who your opponent is playing with, you're going to have to play your game according to that role. You can't, I repeat, you can't do whatever you want anymore, dog. And that's why there's a lot of savage bums running around raging, because they're like, yo, what do you mean I can't aggressive catch in the quadruple coverage? They're like, yo, you serious, EA? Like, I've been supporting you for these last 4 or 5 years. Well, guess what? The game right now is going to be better, and it's going to be so much better that a bum can still enjoy the game. Because let me tell you this, when you come out and you play somebody that doesn't have a certain level of skill, you're going to be able to dominate them more often than not. All right. Now, as we go into our final thing that won't work anymore, right? Overstacking chems. Now, you're going to get 3 offensive players, 3 defensive players that can get these factors or whatever like that. It's no more overstacking the chems. All right. You know what? Everybody's getting out of my way. Everybody's getting under pressure. Everybody's like, oh, no. You got to pick a couple dudes, whatever, and then the other players are going to play according to what their attributes are. And I believe that that makes it more of a chess match. Now, remember, as I point out Myles Garrett right here, and I've been trying to give you guys some insight into the reasoning behind why I would rather go. Like, look, in franchise, when I did it in Madden 20, I loved the unstoppable forces, the players that got it, because in my opinion, they had more impact on also the run game. Now, with Fearmonger, it's more geared toward the pass. So you're going to beat a lot more people that want to come out and just pass the ball like psychos the entire game. Myles Garrett and these other guys are more well-balanced. They, you know, unstoppable force, like these guys can make plays. Khalil Mack, all these other dudes, like they can really make plays no matter what is going on. And what you're going to notice is the way they get off the blocks in the game is totally different and a little bit more realistic. Because if you engage in a block with a player that can't, or like he's not supposed to be holding that block, he's not going to be able to hold that block as far as O-linemen go. Now the receivers, it's a whole different story. I know we went through a year where, you know, we had little tiny receivers just holding up safeties and holding up linemen. I didn't see a lot of that. I don't know if when they fine tune it, they might go back to that, but I didn't see a lot of that. I saw a lot of, it kind of matched up. Like if I played with the Saints and I had Michael Thomas, he was able to dominate a guy that was a smaller corner in that situation. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, all these overstacking and all this, like all of that is done, guys. Like you can't do that anymore. You literally have to go out there and plan according to what your opponent is doing. And I think it's a beautiful thing. And I need you guys to join me to see how beautiful it is. Now remember, guys, I gave you guys my word. If they patch the game and it goes wild, you're gonna get a whole different Gmia. Bro, I'm gonna go, listen, I'm done. Like, if they think they're gonna come out and just do whatever they want, they've been doing me every which way for the last 4 or 5 years, bro. Like, I have nothing left. You can't take this from us now, okay? Like EA, you cannot take this from us now. Stop listening to the wrong people, keep the game the way that it is, and let us rock it out. If there's any major discrepancy, I understand that. But as far as the way the beta played and the way the game actually plays, like you're visibly looking at it, it's so smooth. Everything about it, the juke moves are more natural. It's not over crazy, like you're not spin moving 90 people. I like it the way it is. Let me know if you do as well. I'm gonna see you guys and girls next time. One love.